Previously on the Stormythology Series. A long time ago, when she was just a little girl, Ainet M'Wangi was a village dirt witch amongst the Maasai tribe in Uzuri, Kenya. Uzuri is also in the Great Rift Valley of Mount Kilimanjaro, at the foothills of the Mountain of the Moon. From early on, Ainet used her magical abilities to bring life to non-living things, her natural ability as a dirt witch, and her skills as an empath to help her tribe as a healer. Ainet grew in both power and status amongst her tribe, and she was eventually named the tribe's witch priestess. However, to her own disappointment, Ainet never bore children. For the past few years, Ainet has been plagued with visions of a troubled young girl with white hair and blue eyes who could ride the winds. One day recently, in an Ethiopian market, she sees a girl with white hair summon lightning and fall to escape a poacher whose camera she had just stolen.
And so, several weeks have passed since Ororo gained control over her powers to save T'Challa from the Derutas. Ororo has turned 17 years old, and she and her prince continue to travel together on T'Challa's walkabout. But as time progresses, Ororo notices T'Challa becoming more and more reserved and often lost in thought. One day, while in the market, T'Challa sees a man with a long scar running down his face. A scar just like the one on the face of the man that had killed his father, Ulysses Claw. And out of rage, T'Challa races off, screaming Claw's name, abandoning Ororo in the market. When she finds him far outside of the village, she is angry. Quiet yet sternly, T'Challa tells Ororo that he has been a fool. He tells her that his walkabout is over, and therefore so is their journey together. While he has been on what has turned into holiday for Ororo, his father's killer still lives. He tells Ororo that they must part. His duty to Wakanda is more important than love, and he must be focused on avenging his father. He cannot afford to be distracted any longer, not even by love, not even by her. Ororo is insulted and appalled. She looks at T'Challa in disbelief, but she can tell that this is more than just another lover's quarrel. T'Challa has made up his mind. Defiantly, however, Ororo tells him so be it. She will no longer be his distraction, and she storms away in tears. The next day, when T'Challa finds her high in the tree, Ororo is calm. T'Challa tries to apologize for hurting Ororo, but she stops him. Ororo tells him that she has had time to think, and she agrees. It is time. Time for them both to continue on their journeys separately. After all, she was to only stop by Tita's village on her way to the land of her ancestors in Kenya for just a single night. It was the blessing of the gods that she stayed for 4 years and eventually met and fell in love with the Prince of Wakanda. Ororo says that the same urge that had caused her to leave her first father, Ahmed El-Jabbar, had only gotten stronger and louder since that day in Ethiopia, and she must follow the call of the Bright Lady, just as he must follow the call of Bast. Ororo tells him that she understands the gravity of his duty and symbolism to his people, and she shall not hinder him. They do not kiss, and she does not cry. Instead, Ororo tells T'Challa to save the kiss for a day when it will mean that she is his once again, and he is again hers. She commands the winds to carry her, and she flies away. The smile on her face hides her broken heart, but the rain that now follows her flight toward Kenya reveals her heavy, heavy sobbing. Just days later, Ororo stumbles upon a beautiful, lush plain. She could tell the rains had been plentiful there, and the land beamed with life. The soil was red and fertile under Ororo's feet, and the horizon stretched forever. Here, there were no fences. The animals knew no master, and they roamed as free across the land as Ororo did the skies. Just like her father David Munroe, from above, Ororo was falling in love anew with Africa. She had arrived in the northern plains of Tanzania, and Ororo, in the language of her mother's people, calls out to the bright lady. "Great mother," she begs, "bright lady of the earth and air, hear thy daughter's cry," she cries out with all her broken heart, unsure of what, if anything, will answer, awed by what does. The bright lady herself asked her. The ethereal woman, which Ororo notices looks incredibly like herself, does not say anything. Instead, they lock eyes for a moment, and Ashta smiles at Ororo. And just as she appeared, Ashta disappears in brilliant, bright light. And Ororo knows that she has reached the great, hallowed mount of Kilimanjaro, the place that her mother had always told her was sacred to their royal tribe. And Ororo takes flight to explore the mountain of the moon. Now, Ororo's command of the wind is precise, and she loves to fly. Within seconds, she makes her way to the Uhuru Peak, and she makes her home atop the mountain, away from tourists, near the valley of the Roche crater. But now, hers is a solitary existence. She avoids all contact with society. In fact, she does not even speak much anymore. Her heart was hardened now, and this hardness was making Ororo angry inside.